Thank you for joining us today on Ready Aim Stamp. I have my friend Nancy here, and she is going to share with us a mini, I think it's pronounced Miura card fold. And this is a really fun fold. She did it for my girls for their birthday cards, and they loved their cards. So take it away, Nancy.
Okay, Amy, here we go. So the thing that's fun about this is when it's closed, it's like this. And then when you open it, it pops out at you. So you could put lots of things on there if you want to. You can actually put more on there and they would pop out too. But I went kind of simple and I used our new Darling Donkey set, which is so adorable. Isn't it adorable?
It is super cool.
And then I actually am going to use an older stamp set that's called Gorgeous Grunge, but you could use any grunge that you have because I wanted to put some little grunge in it. So, oops, hit the camera. All right, so what we're going to do is get stuff out here. So I made myself like a cheat sheet because I need help. So this is my cheat sheet. And it shows me where I'm going to score and where I'm going to, well, not really where I'm going to cut, but where I'm going to score. So that I'm going to lay this to the side and I'm going to bring in my cutter. And the sheet says that I'm going to score at 3.5 and 7.
So how big is that piece of paper that you're starting with?
Yes, my base is 5.5 by 10.5. So you might notice it's not a full-size card. I suspect that's why it's called a mini. But it fits in the envelope nicely anyways, and it works good. So we're going to go at 3.5, and we're going to score there. And then you can either turn it around and do 3.5, or you can do 7. Sometimes I think it's better to go turn it around just because then you know that the two ends are the same. There you go. Okay, so hard to see, but they're there. So then you're going to do another, well, first actually, you got to fold that over. Get my bone. So you're going to fold that like that. And you're going to measure. And my pencil's just barely going to show on here, but it will show, I think. Let's hope so. So you're going to measure down 1 7/8. Let's take this out of here. So 1 7/8 is going to be right. Yep, I can see that. You maybe can't, but I can. So you're going to measure down to 1 7/8. Then you're going to put it on your cutter, which is still in the screen, right, Amy?
Yes.
Okay, and you're gonna just put your 1 7/8 mark in there, and then you're gonna line up this other tip. Does that make sense, Amy?
It makes sense. And notice that she has kept it folded over, so she's gonna score through both layers.
Yes, and you kind of have to do it a little bit just to make sure, because you want it to get through both layers. And it is enough. It's not great, but it will work. So then you're going to fold over the right way, this way. So it's going to go like this, okay? So I'm going to use my bone folder again. And I'm going to measure up this time, 1 7/8. So I can't do that. I'm too one way. So I have to turn it upside down and go like this. So 1 7/8 is going to be right there. Okay. But if you do turn it, make sure you're still going up. Don't mess yourself up. All right. So then I'm going to put that little mark right there again. And the point. Make sure I have my score and not my cutter. And see what we get. Good enough. Okay, I'm going to move this out of the way. So you can see, I think you can see this one pretty good. You can see that it's got the score going both ways there. Okay? All right. Up and down, up and down. Okay, so you could do this either way. You could have this one coming out and that one going in, but I'm going to push this one back. So what you do is you just kind of push on there carefully, and then you push on this side, like that, and pretty soon it starts to fold, and you've got your first fold. Okay, now some people that little, what did I do with my pencil? That little mark there would bother, so you could get rid of it. Or you probably could have marked it on the back and scored it from behind. But I'm not that talented, so we'll just stick with what I know. So, okay, and so then this one's going to come forward. And again, it's the point that is tricky, but it actually comes together pretty easily once you get it moving.
Yeah, it looks like as you fold it in that center
right
part, then
it just kind of goes.
Yeah.
All right, so there's that one. See how easy that is? Even I can do it. Okay, so you want to get a nice crease. The cardstock is pretty, thick, so you got to really refine it a little bit to get it to move. Okay, so that's the base of the card. So we're going to move that over here for a minute. And
right here.
Oh, underneath. Help me out, Amy. I need all the help I can get here.
Hidden.
It was a little bit. All right. So I'm just going to move these guys up here. We'll talk about them in a minute. So these are the choices I got out. And this one is from the designer series Plaid Tidings. And this is just from the older wood textures. So, but you could use anything. A lot of people like to put in the center of their card, they like to just have it white so they can write in there. Or we're going to put a sentiment in there, so that's why I chose to do this. But again, you can, it's very flexible. Okay, so the DSP is going to be cut at 3 1/4 by 5 1/8. Okay, so these are all cut the same, whether they're in the center. This one is cut exactly the same size as the outside ones. Okay, but the difference is that on this one, we're going to go down and we're going to cut it again where we folded it, which was 1 7/8. Okay? So I'll get this out again. And we're going to go down 1 7/8 and mark that. Pencil keeps hiding. Okay? And actually, you could cut these both at the same time because there's no direction. So it's not directional is what I should have said. There is direction. Okay, so there's my mark. And I'm going to put that right there. And I'm going to put that right there. And just a little tip, you always want to start on the fat end or in the center.
Yeah, otherwise your point ends up getting
messed up.
Beat up.
Ask me how I know. Okay.
Trial and error.
So then you have these 2 pieces. Well, 4 pieces because we did 2 at a time. All right. Then for the center is tricky only in that it looks wrong after you cut it.
Oh.
I will show you. This is... I actually had to make me another cheat sheet because when you look at that and you look at that, you've cut those edges off like you were supposed to, but they look wrong. At least they do to me.
Yeah.
Do they to you?
It looks funny.
Yeah.
Like it's not going to fit.
Yes. So I made this little thing so I know that I have cut it right. So just keep moving it around till it fits right. But that's a Nancy thing. Okay. So what we're going to do, where did that come from? We're going to cut down, here's my cheat sheet. Okay, we're going to cut down 1 7/8, and we're going to cut up on the other side 1 7/8. Okay, so here we go. We're going to cut down 1 7/8, right there, and turn it around. We're going to cut up 1 7/8, which from this direction is down 1 7/8. All right, so there we have our 2 cuts. Now we're going to bring in our cutter. And again, we're going to line up that mark and that point, just like that. And down we go. Okay? And then we're going to do the same thing here. Looks pretty good.
Don't start from
Oops, and see, but I didn't.
No, you caught it.
And I would have, because I've messed up too many corners. Okay, so there's that. Come off of there. It's one thing about that new cutter, you can't just slide them off
that edge.
And I try all the time. All right, I'll erase those. I should have got my other eraser out. I will.
Maybe. Where is it? Jeez, hidden.
Well, I got a new one.
Oh.
So I'll use it, because I can't find my old one. Okay. All right. So, there we have it. See, I'm already, I already feel like it's wrong, because you feel like you should do it like this, because that's how you cut it. But you don't. You go like this. You see how that is?
Very nice.
Maybe I'm the only one that confuses, but it confuses me. So, all right, now you take these pieces, and you have to cut off a 1/2 inch. I was supposed to cut that at 1. I think I did that wrong, Amy.
Uh-oh.
You're supposed to cut these. I think it'll still work, though. Let's see.
Might not just have as big of a...
It won't have as big of a gap. I didn't look at my cheat sheet as well as I should have. It says right there, cut at 1 3/4. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure I cut it at 1 7/8 the first time I did it. So, but then you're going to cut off a 1/2 inch, okay? So you cut off a 1/2 inch, again, off those ends, just like that. All right. Then we're going to take these ones and do the same thing. So we're going to cut off a 1/2 inch. Just like that. All right. Okay. Now, bring in our card. And we're going to put them where they're going to go. So this one's going to go up here. See, it still works.
Oh, yeah.
And this one is going to go down here. So this one's going to go here, and this one's going to go here. So we'll start with that. Oops, leave the paper in the center of the camera. All right. So I get my Tombow, because that's my favorite glue. And I almost used this side with teal color. That would have looked cool too.
Yeah. That's the problem sometimes with our fun DSP, is that I can't decide which side I want to use.
I know. All right, so that's going to go right like that. And this one. It's going to go up here. Just like that. And I try to line this up because this will never match. So I'll try to get that to match up. Okay, now let's do the other side. Same thing. The only tricky part of this card is the fold. The rest of it's just pretty basic. And it has so many options that you can do. Didn't I use the ladybugs on your daughters?
You did.
She has twin daughters. How old are they this year?
They turned 7.
Okay. How did I mess that up? No. Neither. Yes, we
just makes it a little different of a...
Yep, it's not important. Well, it kind of is. Huh. Well, that's the joy of real live stamping. Somehow, I messed that up. But see, I don't always mess up. I didn't mess this one up. Maybe it...
Maybe one of your marks was just slightly
Yep,
off.
probably was. Okay, so then we're going to take this piece, and you can see it fits right in there. Now remember, you cut it like this. Well, you cut it. Forget it. Anyways, just don't confuse yourself about cutting the ends off, because they do fit. It just, I don't know, maybe I'm saying too much about that. What do you think, Amy? Should I just quit?
Well, it looked confusing, yeah.
I tell you, when I made my first one, I got really confused. It was like, that doesn't work. But it did. So, all right. Then gonna put that in there. And again, this is a little bit there.
Nice.
And then we'll do this one.
I like that wood grain.
I thought it would look nice with the brown.
Mm-hmm.
That's what made me use the wood grain.
Yes.
Okay, this one goes down here.
Those are not Nancy and I's noises in the background.
No.
That is the dog.
That is my husband's dog. Although he would be insulted if you called it that. It's his little boy. But he definitely makes lots of grunty noises. All right. So there's the card. I mean, that's the basics of making this card right there. Is just getting that fold. You can see it moves nicely. Now, I always like to really press those things down. After I get things glued inside, I take my bone folder and I work it down.
Help seal that glue down on the paper.
I've had them move before, so. All right. What do you think?
I like it.
I do too. I like those colors. All right. So the next thing that we would do is, of course, put the little donkeys. Now, if you've watched any of Amy and Nancy videos before, you know that Nancy does not like to color, so she definitely was not going to color on the video. So I've already used, I actually used colored pencils on these. Because I used the blends on these ones, and they turned out okay. But I decided to use the colored pencil on these, so that's what I did. And then this, is that from? Oh, it is. Okay, I was gonna say I think I forgot to see who that's from, but that's from the Darling Donkeys also. So, and then that's the grunge I was talking about. Not very much, but I just wanted something. I didn't want it to be stark white. So
what did you use for your scallopy circles?
That's right here. Good job, Amy. Keep me online here. I used our layering circles, and I can show you quickly. I used this one. Nope. I used this one. Couldn't remember. So it was the second biggest one here and the second smallest one here is what I used. But it's really whatever fits your sentiment. So that's not actually important which one I used. But that's what I used to get the scallops.
Very nice.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that. And I'm just gluing this onto here, but I'm going to pop that up with our dimensionals.
Oops.
So, and I love dimensionals.
Yes, they are fun. They add a fun dimension to our project.
So funny, Amy, so funny. So that reminds me, My husband thinks that Amy and I should be the singing stampers.
Stampin' Sisters.
Stampin' Sisters. Well, okay, see, Amy remembers better than me because I just kind of wrote him off completely. But and it's not like we're going to sing. Don't get scared. But did I pop
Nancy's
that up?
not scary to listen to sing, but I am.
I also popped up my donkeys, so no wonder my card's so thick. You wouldn't have to. You could just lay them flat. But again, I like it. So that's correct. We are not going to sing. However, I just thought I'd bring that up, that, that would be a fun little thing if somebody wanted to become the sort of different thickness.
Oh, no, that's not good.
That's okay. I'll just use this. That's interesting.
It is.
Something to pay attention to.
I wonder if those are really old ones where they used to have the double.
Or they could be from a paper pumpkin. They might be a different size. I don't know. That is interesting because they are definitely Stampin' Up! Because
yeah,
you don't find this particular kind.
Yeah, in any other brand.
They'd be different. So I'll save that one. And I'll go to these. Maybe I should have used these anyways since they're skinnier. Okay, so, and the thing I wanted to point out too is when you're putting something in here, you don't have to worry about it sticking out because it folds down. So it really can be almost as big as you want. It could cover that a lot, and it will just fold down inside your card, so you don't have to be concerned about that. So.
Nope, down. You don't want to put it at his head.
Thank you, Amy. And you don't want to put
no adhesive at the top.
No adhesive at the top. That's correct. In fact, see, I didn't even pop him up. So I'm not going to pop him up because it might make it way too thick with him popped up. Well, I guess that wouldn't, I don't know. Whatever. See, you can do whatever you want. So let's see. We want him about right there, so don't go above his neck with glue. That's what I'm going to do. Maybe I should just sing while Amy does the card. All right. So let's kind of put him sideways, I think, a little bit. Because he's so cute.
He is. I love those. The Darling Donkeys.
Darling
name
Donkeys.
is just perfect.
Yes, it fits them very well. Okay, we'll use these on here because on the outside I'm going to pop him up for sure.
I've seen some really cute cards using this little donkey that's kicking, and he's kicking 20. Can you see him?
Oh,
he's kicking 2020 out, and he's pulling with his teeth a leader line, pulling in 2021 because we were done.
Yes, we are done with 20. And we are because
exactly.
Now, in case you guys don't know, this is 2021. All right, so pull those off. Okay, and then I like to sit him right down here in the corner. I think he looks good there.
He is a very handsome donkey.
He's a very handsome donkey. Now, you could do a whole lot more this card. It's pretty simple, really. You could put some bling on there. You could put more words. I have just a picture of one, actually, that I really like that I did with the harvest. I forgot what it was called.
I don't remember either.
But I thought that turned out really cute.
It's very pretty.
Yeah. So just all kinds of things you could do with this card. I think it's a lot of fun. And I hope that you enjoyed our video. Did I miss anything, Amy?
I don't think so. Thank you for joining us for Ready, Aim, Stamp with the Stampin' Sisters.
I like it. I like it.
Me too.
Yes. Leave it to Pat to name us something.
Yes.
So, all right. Well, you guys have a good 2021, a great day when you watch this, and
we'll see you next time.
bye.